What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Unscripted, episode number 2, and I'm here with the UFC featherweight Arnold Allen, who is on the rise to the top. I saw a 20-3 record, which is insane. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you for coming on. I've been a off and on watcher of UFC since like way back, and I've seen a couple of your fights. I've seen the rise, and I wanted to get you on just to kind of ask you what it was like to be a UFC fighter. Like, this is, the cream of the crop, the top game. Like, everybody wants to be a UFC fighter who's in the fight game. So the very first question, a very broad, open question.
Yeah.
How does it feel to be like in the UFC at the top level that you're at?
It's my dream. It's everything I wanted. It's tough, man. It's tough. You're always chasing the guys above you, and then
Right.
you get that number to your name, like a ranking.
Right.
Everyone behind you is chasing you. Everyone behind you is constantly new talent that wants to come and take your position.
Right. Explain to me the ranking situation quickly, because I saw that they have you ranked 6th, but I also saw that you fought like the number 1 contender.
Yeah, right.
So how does that work? Like, how did they push you all the way back behind Aljamain Sterling, but you fought the number 1 contender? So
yeah.
where do you see yourself, and does that matter? Like, is the ranking concrete, or is that just like kind of like a thing that they think that's where you're at?
Yeah. For me, so I've been dealing with some injuries, so a little inactivity, so I've slid down the rankings a little bit.
Oh, okay. So it's more of a timing thing.
Yeah, but the rankings they've always been kind of controversial, like it's
Right.
in the UFC, it's not unheard of that the number 9 guy has had a title shot.
Oh,
And,
I got you. Okay.
If that guy's more popular and maybe he's knocking people out, more exciting,
Right.
there's a good chance that guy jumps 7, 8, those guys.
But correct me if I'm wrong, but you had an undefeated run for quite a while there, right?
Yeah, it was 10 fights, 10-5 win
10
streak.
fights undefeated.
Yeah.
What does that do to, this is a really stupid question, but what does that do to like the male psyche when you're just like crushing people left and right? Are you like, you feel invincible at that point?
Yeah. So when I was younger, when I started the win streak, and in my head I just always had it. I was like, oh, maybe this will be the one. Like, maybe this will be the one that I lose. Maybe this
Yeah.
will be the one.
Yeah.
And then it got to about 5-0, and I was like, yeah, nah, I'm gonna keep this going. I was not gonna keep this going. Let's go all the way with this. And
when you go into fights, are you going into a fight like you're saying that like maybe this will be the one? Are you going into a fight like almost not scared, but like pessimistic?
no, not now. No,
Not now, but before.
yeah, maybe when I was a little bit younger, I'd have they accept that the reality of losing. There is a
Right.
potential, there is opportunity for that. But
Right.
just leave no stone unturned, just to make
Right.
sure all the chances are on your side, and I don't even think about it. It is a possibility that can happen, but
Right.
just doesn't even enter my mind now.
How old are you now?
I'm 31.
31. When did you start fighting?
Professionally at 18.
18. When you say professionally, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is the way it works in boxing, but can you just say that you're going to be professional now, or do you have to win something?
Pretty much in MMA, you could
You just announced.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you just announced that so you decided at 18, like, I'm ready now. I want to fight
Yeah.
professionally.
I had I think about 10 amateur fights. I won a couple of regional titles, and started getting like pullouts, cancellations.
Yeah.
And just the opportunity came up to fight a good guy at a professional level, professional show. And my manager and coach, he believed in me, and he said, "Yeah, I think you could take this guy." And we got the win, got a knockout win against a highly touted guy that went on to be a European champion.
Okay. So how many amateur fights did you have?
Across the board, probably about 15.
15.
I had a few.
And how did those go? Like, wins, losses?
So I won all the MMA. I lost one amateur boxing.
You won all the MMA fights though.
Yeah.
Jesus. So is this something that you like? Do you have brothers and sisters or no?
Yeah, my older brother competes in strongman.
Okay, so
Yeah.
is this something that like do you and your brother like as kids would you fight a lot? Is this something kind of like you knew from like a very early age?
Yeah, I wouldn't say fight. He would beat me up. Yeah, I'd survive.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, yeah.
So from an early age, were you like, I want to be a fighter. I'm going to learn how to fight.
Yeah, yeah. I got kicked out of school when I was about 15 years old, and I was
No
just
way.
nothing too bad. It just, I kind of messing around, and I just had my heart set on what I wanted to do, and school didn't really help that.
Right. So
Hmm.
you left school at 15, you got kicked out.
Yep, yep.
Can I ask what you did to get kicked out?
I couldn't even. It was just a load of little things. Just being an annoying little kid, just the pain in the ass. That nothing specific, nothing bad.
But you didn't care. Like you knew at that time, you're like, I'm going to be a fighter. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, yeah. In
Crazy.
England, it's like you kick you out of school, you get taken to a naughty boy school,
Yeah.
and you have to spend time there. They used to drop me off at this naughty boy school.
Yeah.
I'd walk around the corner and go to the boxing gym.
No
So
way.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So you didn't even go to the bad school.
yeah,
Did you ever check in there?
yeah. If I check in, but then I'd kind of walk around the corner after. And just so I knew the coach was there in the day, so I was like, oh, I could do some boxing instead.
So when you started boxing, did you have a talent for it right away? Like, did the boxing coaches there kind of push you along because they saw something in you, or were you just starting from scratch, like with nothing?
Yeah, starting from scratch, but people always whisper, people always said things. The
Yeah.
coach there was very old school. Like, if he did see something, I don't think he'd ever let me know. If
Oh,
that
okay.
makes
So okay.
yeah,
So negative reinforcement. So they tell
yeah,
you,
one of those. Yeah,
okay. So were you the kind of athlete that wanted to please? Like you were trying to like trying to get a compliment no matter what.
yeah, like just trying to be the hardest worker in the room. Like if
Right.
we're doing conditioning drills, I'm trying to do them faster than everyone else, or try and
Right.
do more reps than everyone else, and then be like, look at me. Yeah.
What about okay, so what about family life? Are your parents or your brother, are they pushing you along at this point? Are they happy for you to do this? Like what's the home life like?
Yeah, very competitive. So my dad competed strongman back in the day. He
Okay.
also fought in MMA. He
Oh
had
wow.
some MMA fights. So but even just seeing he always worked hard, he was a truck driver, a doorman, while competing strongman and then fighting at the same time. He always did
Oh,
everything to a high level.
right.
I think that sort of pushed me and my brother to pick one of the sports and push at a high level too.
So when you're fighting, is your dad still like I can kick your ass, or is your dad is your dad scared of you now at the level you're at?
Yeah, I think he still thinks he kicked my ass,
He's
yeah.
still can
I
he?
think so.
Do you think he can?
He might do, to be fair, he's a bigger boy than me, so yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
So if your dad and your brother both did strongman, why fighting and not strongman? Or did you do strongman too?
Not just the up small. My brother's more athletically gifted. He's 6 foot. He's
Oh, okay.
competes in the what is it, under 90 kilos.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so, but no, he's athletically gifted, I'm not.
Okay. So you decided fighting is better for you.
Yeah, yeah.
Crazy. So what so walk me through the journey. You're going to this boxing gym and you decide you want to be did you want to be a boxer first? Did you always want to be MMA?
Yeah, it's actually quite funny because my dad was doing, mixed martial arts and doing some grappling, and, as a kid I'd see the men rolling around the floor, and I was just like, you know what? This is kind of gay. Like, I don't want to do that. I was like,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna do a real sport. I'm gonna punch people in the face. We're not
Right.
gonna lay on top of each other.
Right.
Yeah, and now about I don't know, near 20 years later, I'm a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and
Right.
I do it for a living.
So at the time you're like I'm going to box.
Yeah.
So you start boxing. How does that journey go? Like you start in the boxing gym. How long before you stop going to the bad boys school at all and just go straight unboxing?
It wasn't too long. It wasn't too long. Yeah, I wasn't the most active boxer, just, I didn't know it now, but, like, my coach at the time, I have no ill will towards him, but he had a lot of, local drama, local issues with, the guys promoting shows, and no one wanted to have his guys on their shows because he was causing problems.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't ever able to compete, and I kept asking, like, "Why can't I compete? This guy's competed 10 times this season, and
Yeah.
I've had 2." But,
Right.
yeah, my goal was to go all the way with boxing, and just those little stupid politics drove me into MMA,
How did
and,
those first you said you did a couple fights in boxing. How did those go?
yeah, it was good. I won a, East of England championship,
Oh, wow.
um, even then, so in England, you do, like, the juniors, and it'll be like if you have over 20 bouts, you're in the advanced. If you have under 20, you're in a novice.
Okay.
I ended up somehow 4-0 in the advanced, and
With no
I
fights
knocked
in the novice.
yeah, so I knocked the boy out in the, first round, and I got passed through to the semis. Like,
Yeah.
the semis in the whole country, like, not
Wow.
just my region,
Yeah.
and, I was so excited, and my coach pulled me out, and he didn't want me to fight the boy because he said, he's like, "This guy's too good. If you get hurt, I couldn't live with myself."
Right.
And in my head, being, I think, 14 years old, that was my opportunity. That was it.
Right. Right.
That was it. So I was like, "I'm gonna have a look at this MMA, sort of see if I can get a fight there."
How many of that's it have you had? Like, I'm sure there's been a lot of fights where you thought, like, this is the key to me moving forward.
Yeah.
Are they really though, or is it just kind of like a sum of everything?
Yeah, yeah, I think so. I think, where I've had an injury and I've been out, you sort of get to look at things from a different perspective, and, yeah, it just makes you who you are on the journey, isn't it?
Yeah. So you after they don't give you that fight, you decide to switch to MMA.
Yeah.
Then you're okay with rolling around on the ground with men.
Yeah, yeah. I still try to keep it standing, but yeah.
Okay. When do you start jujitsu?
Um, I was dabbling a little bit after the boxing. I was doing more Muay Thai than Jiu-Jitsu straight away.
Yeah.
More, I was like, "Oh, maybe I'll add kicks and knees and
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Still more
avoid
manly.
that."
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe about a year later.
And do you become a natural at jujitsu or is it hard for you?
Jiu-Jitsu was hard. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was getting submitted 5, 6 times every session. Yeah,
How does that feel? Look, I did jujitsu for like 2 months, so don't
okay.
I understand what it feels like to get my ass kicked is all I'm saying.
Yeah,
How did that feel for you? Like when you were getting submitted, were you like, I'm just gonna push through?
yeah. Uh, so it's kinda hard to go from being really good at something
Right.
to then sucking at something.
Right.
And, I just kinda had the mentality that if I go to a session and I get submitted 10 times, I get beat 10 times, well, next week is 9 times. And,
Uh,
eventually now, usually it's 0 times, so I've
that's
made some improvements.
yeah, I mean, that's what they say, right? Like small wins, small
Yeah,
victories.
yeah.
Yeah, I never looked at it like that. Maybe I shouldn't have quit.
It's one of them ones, it's like, I've been doing jiu-jitsu now 15 years, and
Yeah.
I've trained with some guys, and it's like, "Oh, okay, these guys aren't on that level." But then there's
Yeah.
guys out there that make me feel like a beginner,
Yeah.
and they play with me, and I'm just like, "Man, why do I even do this?"
Right. How do you feel about the black belt situation? Because I know black belts are given out by each school. Like each
Yeah,
school has their own system and their own obviously teacher of the school that gives the black belt when he feels you're ready.
yeah,
So how do you feel about like you could have 10 black belts and 10 all 10 different could have different styles and different levels of like how good they are.
yeah.
So
It's a tough one. Because it's not like there's a criteria of like, if you can perform this move, then
right.
you're a black belt. And competition to, hobbyist, just maybe because someone's been training 20 years in the gi jiu-jitsu,
Yeah.
does he not deserve his black belt? Because maybe some young guy would whoop his ass in competition.
Right.
It's a hard one. There's definitely a spectrum of black belts.
But yeah,
Um,
but see, I can see that situation where like I've been to some of those schools where 2 schools I've been to. both where they had like somebody who's been there a long time,
Yeah.
who's got his black belt, but you can see that some of these young blue belts or purple belts could beat that guy.
Yeah.
So it's like
Just
it's tough to. I guess the reason I'm asking this, I guess, to lead to the question is, you're a black belt, but like you said, there are people that come in that you're like, wow, that's
yeah.
a different level. How does that make you feel about your own black belt and how much better you have to get? Like, how do you get better to that level?
Yeah. Uh, I just think there's like different grades of black belt, different, you're not just because someone's so much better than you at jiu-jitsu, it doesn't mean you're not the black belt.
Right.
It just means he's so much better.
Right.
But you know, it's a tough one, and I feel like, yeah, if a guy's been training 20 years and he's got the skills and he shows up and he helps the people,
Hmm.
it's sometimes the thing outside of the competition that gives him his black belt status.
Makes sense.
He helps the guys that come in, the white belts that come in. He shows them the techniques. He teaches people. He's a good guy in the gym. Helps people. Good environment. Like all those little things.
Mm,
If you have a guy who could maybe submit him, and so much more skilled, but he's an asshole. Doesn't help anyone.
mm,
A bad attitude. But maybe that's not the guy I'd want to give a black belt to.
right. Right. But for you personally, now that you have a black belt and you know there are people with jujitsu black belts that maybe have better skill,
Yeah.
how do you go about reaching higher levels?
Training with those guys, just redoing the same thing of when I was a white belt. You go with the blue belt, they kick your ass, and just being open minded and learning. I do think there's some guys that get there, and what they do, they hide away from the people that are more advanced than them because they're,
Right.
they're now worried. They're like, well, if I'm a black belt and this guy from this school submits me, it's going to look bad.
Yeah.
But you have to embrace it, learn from those guys. Everyone does something different.
Right.
Sometimes I train with guys that are, blue belts, purple belts, and they give me big trouble.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when you're from the UK, right?
Yeah.
So do you travel a lot for training or no?
Yeah, I'm over in Montreal right now for a training camp.
Okay. It's funny you said I saw a story about you said somebody you got in a fight because you couldn't speak English? Is this
That was a
real?
joke, man. It was a joke,
Oh, it's
but
a joke.
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
everyone thinks because I didn't know they have some sort of sensitive sort of French and English situation here.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so many people have been messaging me. I'm like, no, it's just a joke, just a joke.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So you're in Montreal right now. Are you at TriStar?
yeah, that's right.
Okay. So do you feel like there is someone there or the school there is just a level up for you?
Yeah, so Faraz Zahabi, he's the coach, and
Yeah.
he's one of the best minds in MMA.
Yeah.
He's always, like I say with the black belt thing, he's a long time black belt, like
Sure.
fantastic coach. But he's still on the mat, still like today I was training with him today,
Yeah.
and he's always learning new techniques. He's learning and training with new guys. He'll travel to train with different people and bring new skills back. Like
Right.
he's a black belt a long time, but he trains like a white belt. He's always learning new things, always picking things up
Sure.
and trying them out. And I don't really have anyone around. I don't even know if there's any coaches like him. He's
Mhm.
always on the mats with you. When we spar, he's trying to take my head off, and
Yeah.
you know, he's not a compare, he's not competing, but he's fantastic.
So how long will you stay in Montreal? Like how long if you're doing this kinda camp where you're trying to get better, how long will you stay there for?
So I haven't got a fight scheduled at the moment. Initially there was rumors, that's why I came out. They said that December was the target, but nothing has happened for that. But usually like 8 to 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
8 to 10 weeks there, and you feel like in that 8 to 10 weeks, you can get a good gauge of what you need to learn from him.
yeah. Just like when it comes to game planning, like he looks at a fight so different to anyone.
Mhm.
We've sat and watched footage together, and I see things, but he sees things a different way
Yeah.
than I do.
So obviously he's a coach. Can you just go there and be coached by him, or does he have to see a level of talent that he thinks like, okay, I can like does he have to accept you is what I'm asking as a client?
Um, yeah, it's a bit of a weird. So he runs classes through the day. He'll run the class, and anyone could be in the class. From pro
Right.
fighters to amateur fighters. But on a different level of actually getting like personal attention and breaking down your fight footage. I think that's more very old school martial arts where there's not ever verbally said, but it's
Yeah,
it's earned through your actions of turning up, being a good training partner, being on the mats, and helping the team out.
sure. So is he gonna would Faraz coach you into a fight, like, all the way through?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. All the way to the fight. Yeah, all the way.
Okay, do you have other coaches too?
Yeah, yeah. Boxing coaches, Muay Thai coaches,
Alright.
wrestling coaches,
Oh,
strength and
wow.
conditioning coach, everything. Yeah,
So you have every type of coach.
yeah. That's it.
Strength and conditioning, also nutrition, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah.
So
Every,
that's how we met. So you know Ben Chow.
that's it.
Is Ben doing all of your nutrition or some?
No, no. I don't work with Ben anymore.
Okay. You were working with Ben.
He was my strength and conditioning coach, and he
Okay.
used to kill me. He used to
Yeah,
kill me.
that's Ben for sure.
Yeah, yeah.
So you might moved on from Ben to another strength and conditioning coach, and you have a nutrition coach as well.
That's it. Yeah.
Okay, how long have you I this is most people don't really know how all this stuff works, so I kinda wanna get into the weeds a little bit of it. How do you afford to pay all the coaches?
Uh, sponsors. Yeah.
Sponsors.
So I have sponsors. Fighting. I sell my own like clothing and stuff like that. Um, yeah, mostly sponsors when I'm injured, obviously.
Okay,
But yeah, now when I'm active competing, it covers the bills and everything's good.
right. I guess when you're competing, like, my question is this, and I don't know how deep you wanna get into
Sure.
finances, so if you don't wanna go too far, we don't have to. Um, for people wondering, like, I guess, is some of it, um, pay on a fight? Like, if you had, like, 6 coaches, would you ever say something like, "Look, I'll work with all 6 of you, and you get X percentage of the purse?" Like, does that kinda thing ever happen?
I know some people do that, but like, I like to just pay per session and
Ah,
you know,
okay,
yeah, yeah.
okay,
I know, yeah, I do know a lot of people that do that. They'll be 5% of the total or whatever. Yeah, a
right.
lot of time with like managers' fees, is like that.
So it's actually sounds really expensive to be a fighter. I mean, like, I have a like, most bodybuilding to try and relate it to bodybuilding, bodybuilders have 1 coach,
Right.
right? They do usually do their own training or their coach might be involved in their training, and then the coach usually does their nutrition and maybe their supplementation, their drugs, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's 1 guy. And what
Yeah.
they're paying 1 guy, right? So it sounds pretty expensive to be a fighter, especially at the highest level.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess when you compare it to one guy.
You're right. That's what I mean. Like, even if I compare it to any sport, really, like, it sounds like you guys would have more coaches than any other sport because if you're a boxer, you have a boxing coach and
Yeah.
maybe a nutritionist, but you guys have so many different disciplines.
Yeah.
You know
We
what
got
I
like
mean?
a MMA coach, a wrestling coach, jiu-jitsu. Yeah. There's
Right.
so many.
So
Um,
throughout the week, how are you fitting all of this in? Like, you're does each day like you work with a different coach each day kind of thing?
Not necessarily. Um, so we do 2 sessions a day.
Okay.
Typically, like today is so Wednesday is like kind of a half day.
Yeah.
So I went in this morning. Usually I do Muay Thai in the morning, hit the pads, take a break, and I'll do my strength and conditioning after. The
Sure.
evening is a recovery. I'll do like spa, sauna, cold plunge.
Okay.
Um, but our coach Faraz kind of oversees most things. So if we're on a sparring day, he'll run the class, he'll run the sparring, he'll pick who you're sparring with, and he'll watch your sparring and I need to go with this guy, try this, this, and this. And then after the sparring, he'll break down what we did, what I did wrong, and we'll
Wow.
go over drills after that. But yeah,
So
then it's
so each session he's picking apart everything you're doing and then you're fixing it right afterwards.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So if I
Wow.
spar, we spar at one, we do what, 5 minute rounds, finish at 1:30. We'll do half an hour like drills, working on. Say if I kept getting kicked in the body with something, I'll
Yeah.
go over practicing this and defenses to that, counters to that.
Sure. And then the rest of the week, like, are you just throwing in the other things a little less maybe because they're not as important?
No, I always one of my coaches, my boxing coach. I've worked with him for a long time, and I was having a couple of weeks where everything but my sparring was going shit. My sparring was great, but
Right.
everything else was going bad.
Yeah.
And he said the only thing that ever really matters is sparring. If your
Right.
sparring is good, then everything's good. I
Really?
was like, yeah, that kind of makes sense. Yeah,
Well,
because I
yeah.
was,
If you're winning your fights, I everything fuck everything else. Who cares?
yeah, I was hitting pads. I didn't feel sharp on the pads. When you're off target, don't feel fast. I was like,
Right.
sparring is going really good,
Yeah.
but then everything's good. I was like, yeah, I guess it makes sense.
What's your nutrition like? Is nutrition like, is it similar to bodybuilding where you're eating like 5 or 6 small meals a day? Lots of
Yeah,
hydration, all that.
yeah, that sounds pretty familiar. Yeah, yeah,
Okay, I gotta ask you this question, and we can get away from it or not. It's up to you. How I know UFC has steroid testing and all that.
yeah.
How intense is it? And do you think there are guys that are somehow getting past it, or do you think it's covering everybody pretty evenly?
Uh, I'm glad they have the testing. I am glad they have the testing, but my confidence in it isn't like great. There's
It's not
definitely
100%.
no, there's definitely people that have you know, passed tests, and there's ways around it, I'm sure.
Really?
Um, yeah, it's definitely flawed. It's definitely flawed.
So how do you feel about that then? Because you guys are in a sport that, it's dangerous. I mean,
Yeah.
your life is on the line. Not to be too dramatic, but it is like
Yeah.
it is that dangerous. So like, if somebody has an advantage of either more power, more aggression, more endurance, where they can fight longer, like,
Mhm.
does that? How much does that bother you? I guess if you know that it's flawed and you know there are people there that are kind of getting by, how much does that bother you?
Yeah, it sucks. It's one of those things, and there's so many you don't know for a fact, obviously, but everyone has sort of ideas of who's who and what
Yeah,
teams do what.
yeah,
But it's that kind of sport where we have the fans that if you were to speak up and say something on it, if you were fighting a guy that failed a test,
yeah.
they would say you're scared and you're making excuses. So it's
Oh,
like you just kind of have to suck it up.
that's so crazy though. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not. Maybe like, obviously maybe I'm not enough of a UFC fan to understand that, but I'm like, I would never. Like, I remember like Daniel Cormier saying stuff about John Jones being on steroids and
yeah,
how he fights differently when he's not on steroids, which I think I can kind of see that,
yeah,
but I don't think I wouldn't look at it like Daniel's scared.
yeah.
You know what I
Exactly.
mean? I'd be like, no, you fight different. Like, I can see a clear distinction between when you're tested and not tested.
Yep. I've
So,
I've trained with people. Definitely won't say any names, but I've trained with people, and sometimes they're really fucking strong, and then a few weeks later, I train with them again,
they're
and I'm
not
like,
really,
"Oh, I don't really feel very strong
they're
today."
not really strong.
Yeah, yeah. It's
That's so
interesting.
funny. Do you
Interesting.
morally, do you get upset about that though? Because it's like I said, it's a very dangerous sport.
Yeah, yeah. It's I think whenever there's a sport where there's gonna be money and there's always gonna be cheats, and certain regions, certain places, it's kind of part of the culture, and they don't even like think of it as cheating. It's they're taking it in their head as like we all do it. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it sucks. It sucks. Like obviously coming from a strongman family, I grew up walking in the room. My dad's got a needle in his
Yeah.
ass, and
Yeah.
it's pretty normal stuff. But strongman, you're lifting weights. No one's getting hurt. The
Right.
risk is yourself, right?
Right.
So
Right.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. I guess it's tough. So I want to ask about a few like everyday things. Like, as a kid growing up, you're 31 now, but I guess in your late teens and early 20s, were you hyper focused as an athlete? Were you like, I'm staying away from drugs and drinking and partying and all that shit? Were you able to stay straight laced, or were you kind of like partying but still fighting?
I was partying a lot. I never touched drugs or anything like that, but all the way
Drinking.
up until, but I got it done early, like until probably 19. Me and
Oh
my
shit. So
friends
you were
were,
partying like at 15, 16, 17, like those
yeah,
years?
yeah, yeah,
Holy shit.
yeah. We went,
Is it just alcohol?
yeah, yeah. I never touched anything. Like I
Uh,
never smoked a cigarette or anything like that.
so you're drinking a lot and fighting.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much.
Are you fighting in bars?
A couple times, but nothing crazy,
I've
no.
always wanted to ask a UFC fighter, like, it's funny when you're in a bar and you're watching a UFC fight, somebody will say to me, because I used to weigh 300 pounds. So they'll be like, do you think you could beat up Arnold Allen? Because he's only 145 pounds or whatever
Yeah.
featherweight is. And I'd be like, at one point in my life before I knew anything about fighting, I would say, oh, yes, of course I can. He's
Yeah.
145 pounds. Then after I knew a few things about fighting, I was like, I don't know. I'm like, he would fucking kill me without even trying. So it's funny that, do you ever get, when you're out, like, does that ever happen to you now that people know who you are? Like,
Yeah.
the two questions I guess kind of I want to ask about this is, one, have you ever used it to your advantage when you were out with your friends?
What, fighting?
Yeah. Like,
Um,
have you ever been in a situation where you're like, I know I shouldn't be fighting because I can kick these people's ass, but they're bothering me.
yeah, 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 definitely it's happened, yeah, definitely,
Okay. Does
definitely.
that feel good? Like, does it feel good to be the guy that's like with your friends that can handle all that?
Yeah, I mean, but see, all my friends growing up, so my best friend, he's like a 6'2",
Oh, so they can handle themselves. Okay.
he's like a big rugby player,
Yeah.
but we're in a group, then my other friend was a kickboxer, he's about the same height.
Yeah.
Uh, Other friends 6'3", they're all big guys that we hung around with, and I'm this
Yeah.
little 5'9".
Yeah.
Everyone would always start on me, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm not even involved. But yeah, no, it's definitely like as a kid, I do remember my friend getting a drunk guy was punching him through the window of his car, and he
Right.
took the keys out of the car and started hitting him, and
Right.
I was in the back seat, and I had to tackle the guy and sort of choke him unconscious, and he was a big guy, and I was about 15 years old, so I was like, oh man, I
Right.
can't let this guy off because he's gonna beat the shit out of me. But
Yeah.
it was nice to know jiu-jitsu then.
So the second question I have is, as a UFC fighter being at the top of the food chain as far as fighters go, does it ever serve you when you're out, or are you like, this is too dangerous? I can't fuck with anybody because I'll just hurt them.
Yeah, no, I kind of avoid all of those scenarios now. From
Yeah.
being younger and like stupid stuff happening, and I don't even put myself in those situations anymore.
Right.
Um, I it was a funny one. Someone a few years ago, I was in a bar, and some guy, big guy, juiced up on all the wrong stuff, I'm sure,
Yeah.
and I think he was coked up as well.
Yeah.
He's trying to start me. He said he thinks he could take me and all this, and
Did
he's
he
like,
know you? Did he know who you were?
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
He's like, I've
Okay.
seen you fight, but I think I'd take you. And I was like, all right, cool, probably.
Oh shit.
I was just making jokes, and he kept starting. And the only way I spun it and stopped it, because I said to him, I was like, I'm on a night out. I'm having a night off from work. Unless you're gonna pay me my purse to fight,
All right.
fuck off and leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah.
He was like, oh, I'm really sorry. I didn't really think about it that way. I was like, I'm being a real dick, and I was like, yeah.
That's
And then
awesome.
in my head, I was thinking, this is a big guy. I was like, I don't know if I could take this guy. I was like, shit. Yeah.
So you diffused it.
Yeah. 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 So,
Incredible. That's awesome.
yeah, I don't, I avoid those situations now.
So the partying for you has ended
Yeah.
at the late teen stage. So through your 20s, are you hyper fixated on this UFC goal and you're like, I'm gonna eat, train, sleep, do it all right? Like, are you eating clean? You're not like eating any shitty food. You're not doing anything. Like, is that your whole 20s?
No, no. Like, I'm blessed with good metabolism. So
Okay.
yeah, definitely outside of camp, I like food was like my vice, like eating
Okay.
bad. Yeah. I'm much better now.
Yeah.
Probably maybe the bit of that athleticism starts wearing off in your late 20s, early 30s.
Yeah.
Injuries start racking up. So I start eating home cooked pizzas, and that's my
Yeah.
cheat day sort of thing.
Yeah. 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 So how many injuries, when did the people don't really, I know some obviously fight fans think of it, but people on the outside don't necessarily think of this, but like, what does it feel like after a fight when you're done? Like, you've gone through like a 5-round fight, like when you fought Max Holloway, for
Yeah.
example, you go through a 5-round fight with somebody at that level. what does it feel like the next day? Like, I've been in fights where I wake up the next day and I'm like, my face hurts,
Yeah.
or like I hurt something, like, I tore a muscle or whatever. Like, how does that how does that feel like the day after a fight or the week after a fight?
So I remember actually the day after the Holloway fight, we stayed, I think it was in St. Louis because we went on a road trip across, and it was a rough hotel.
Yeah.
My wife booked it, and she always seems to book the roughest hotels by accident. And I remember just thinking, like, if something happens, it's like, you're on your own here because I'm
Yeah.
useless. Like,
Yeah.
my hand was busted, my elbow hurt, my knee hurt. I was hobbling around. And even watching the fight, it wasn't like I didn't feel like I took a beating, or
Yeah.
it was a good fight, but like I didn't feel beat up or anything.
Yeah.
But the next day, I was feeling it. My
Yeah.
hand was like a balloon. My head was out here. Yeah,
That's
everything
why
hurt.
that's why I asked that question, because it's like, look, I'm not a fighter at all. I've been in like a few street fights or whatever,
Yeah,
but like I remember being hit like really mildly in the side of the head, not like a hard
yeah,
punch or anything. Like, you wake up the next day and it's like it's like your head is throbbing and it's swollen, and I'm like, so I just can't imagine, like, after 5 rounds of actual real
yeah,
fighting with like a high level person, how much like damage do you feel, and then how long does it take to recover from that?
yeah. It's a couple of weeks, about 2 weeks, and I was back. Back to normal.
Yeah.
I had a bit of nerve damage on my shin. That took a few months. It was just kind of like tingling. It was
Yeah.
tingling for months,
Really.
but it didn't hurt. It was just, yeah. I thought it was like permanent damage or something, but it's good now.
So when fighters fight, the recovery time before they're back in the gym training is 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah, I like to have a couple of weeks just to, especially when you smash a hard camp. Used to be when I was younger. It used to be a week. I'd have a week where I'd force myself. Now I'm like maybe 2 weeks, and in
Yeah.
that week I'll do a bit of fitness just to sort of so I don't get too fat.
Right, right. Um, being at the UFC level where you are, and like I said, ranked in the top 5, 6, who do you fight next? How do you get back to a level where you're in contention for the title?
Yeah, just need to take out one of those big names. That's why I came back to Montreal. I was told it was gonna be Yair Rodriguez. I
Okay,
did see on the rumor mill apparently he had a surgery. Um, kind of like conveniently after they said that, it was like a few days later I saw a rumor come up that he had surgery.
okay.
I don't know. I'm kind of speculating maybe they offered him me and he punched a wall or something, but I I don't think that's the case. But yeah, yeah, they seemed a bit strange.
So you gotta fight somebody in the top 5. Do you know how does that fight get put together? Do you just get a call from Dana White one day, or, like,
Yeah,
how
so
does
their
that work?
team, not for me. Like Dana ain't contacting me personally, but usually
Yeah,
the team will contact. And back in the day, it would just be this name, this date, yes, no. That's as blunt as it is.
right.
And but now it's, you get a call. This is what we're planning. This is what we'd like to do. And yeah, so that's nice to see a bit of direction. Um, but yeah, it's kind of whatever their vision is. If they're sitting there looking at the division, this guy's exciting, this guy's boring.
Yeah,
How can we get rid of that guy that's boring? That's
right.
I'm sure that's how the meetings go.
How
Yeah.
do you feel like you have to do, like a Chael Sonnen kinda act, or, like, something to, like, get noticed, or do you feel like if you just keep knocking people out or choking people out, like, that's it? Or
Yeah,
do you feel like to do something otherwise?
definitely. The first half of my career, being sort of naive, I just thought, I was going to keep winning. I'd win a fight, disappear, win a fight, disappear, make no noise. I wouldn't talk no shit. I wouldn't call anyone out. I wouldn't ask. I just, whatever happens, happens. Whoever's next, I'll beat them.
Mhm.
And I think I might have had like the longest or one of the longest win streaks without a title fight. I think there's only about two or three people that had that win streak.
Right,
I think it's like me and Tony Ferguson that had that long of a win streak without a
right,
title fight.
right.
So since having that win streak and not getting the title fight, then losing at the end of it, and then obviously not getting it, it's very frustrating. Very
Mhm.
frustrating. So I went back and sort of learned I had to put my character out there, even if I'm not going to be the guy that talks shit. I still have to show my personality and put my character out there.
Mhm.
It's entertainment at the end of the day. I know it's under the facade of a sport, but it is who moves the needle, who makes the most noise. That's
Right.
who probably is going to get the opportunities.
So who are you calling out and how? Like, how do you curate that character? Like, how have you decided, like, how have you decided how you're going to talk shit, how you're going to get noticed?
Yeah. You know what? Everyone just calls me autistic, so I've started showing my character a bit more, and they just keep saying Arnold Allen's autistic, and so I'm starting to think I might just go back into the hole and be quiet again. But but yeah, no, look, I feel like the fights that make sense. They said Yair Rodriguez, and for me, I'm like, that's the kind of fight that's going to be a fight of the night.
Yeah.
Both two guys that like to strike. Oop, both two guys that like to strike and stand and throw bombs. So he's a big finisher. I've shown before I've got a good chin. I'm going to pressure and try and take someone out.
Yeah.
Uh,
When you're coming up and they say to you, Arnold, here's your fight, take it or leave it. Obviously, if you say no to these fights, they start asking you less, correct?
yeah, exactly.
So you could basically kind of have to say yes.
Yeah, it's for me. I'm like, if I'm fresh and I'm ready to go, then yeah. But if I'm sitting there nursing some injuries, like
Right.
while I've been out, so I tore my labrum. I did a whole load of things on my shoulder. Rotator cuff, labrum, AC joint. I had some like life changing opportunities while being out. Pay per view, co main events, big money, title shot eliminators. I think 3 fights there, fantastic fights, all dream fights,
Right.
and I've had to turn them all down because I haven't been in a position where maybe maybe when I was younger I'd take it a bit
Right.
naively, but I don't believe I could beat these guys with one hand. So yeah,
Mm. So what does that do to does that set you back pretty far though? Like if you're talking to like Dana White and Dana White's giving you, I mean, you're not talking to him personally, but like
yeah.
your team is talking to his team and they've offered you all these things and then you kind of can't take them because of your shoulder.
Mm.
Is it a long time before you get offered that stuff again? Or are they understanding of the fact that what you're going through?
Yeah, no, they're understanding, but the sport moves fast, and
Right.
like as soon as they're off the phone to you, they're getting the next guy in, and that's exactly what happened. I got offered the opportunity. I'm assuming I got offered the opportunity first,
Right.
and then they call the next guy, and then that guy takes the opportunity, and now he's getting all the rewards of obviously taking the risks. But yeah,
Right.
that's just the game.
So how long before you're recovered and your injuries are back to, you're back to normal?
No, I'm in camp now. I'm
You're
sparring
good now.
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I'm that's why I came back to Canada because they said December with yeah Rodriguez, and I was like, okay, well, I need to get out there and start preparing. And
Right.
now I'm just here in limbo.
So you're in camp now with nobody to fight.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much a way to put it. Yeah,
Is somebody in that top 5 gonna step up, you think?
yeah. I'm just kind of the last word we had with them. We asked about EIU, and they just said just leave it with us. And I was like, okay, so we'll just see what happens.
How does that feel as a fighter being in camp? Like, I can't imagine, like, getting ready for a show and then not obviously, I'm just gonna keep on dieting if I'm a bodybuilder, and I don't know when I'm competing, but, like, for fighting, it seems like it's so much more intense with different coaches and, a lot more
Yeah,
planning goes involved. How does that feel, like, being in limbo like that?
it's frustrating just because I know I am going to fight eventually. I've had a long time out, and I've been out 15 months now, so it feels like everything has come to this. So I'm like, just stay the path, keep preparing. But yeah, like you say, if I'm say fighting a wrestler, but now if I end up fighting a wrestler and all I'm doing is preparing for kickboxers,
Right.
I'm not going to really drill or spar with wrestlers. I'm going to spar with guys that are good kickboxers.
Right.
So there's those little fine details, definitely. So you end up just you spar odd rounds with, one tall guy, maybe a short guy, maybe someone that throws powerful overhands, someone that's going to wrestle. You try and cover all bases.
Right. Right. So what is your if somebody had to like put a label on Arnold Allen, what's your label? What do you think it is?
Um, as a fighter, like style,
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, striker, I'd say, yeah.
Is that something you're proud of, or do you wanna be known as the black belt jujitsu guy?
Uh, I'd like to be known as someone who could do it all, but I mean, I can do it all. I definitely do it all in the gym.
Right.
I did at I was at the UFC with the in Vegas with the Performance Center. They run through your stats and all your statistics.
Right.
Apparently, I've never shot a takedown in the UFC, and that. I was
You
like,
haven't.
no, yeah, no. But I work with my wrestling coach is a Georgian guy, Guy Sasori, world champion wrestler. He won silver medal in the Olympics in
Okay.
I can't remember what year it is, but he's an unreal athlete, unreal wrestler. We work with him so much,
Yeah.
and I've never shot a takedown. I was just like, oh,
So
I might
what
have to fire my
waste of
wrestling
time. Why
coach.
are you wrestling? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What do you think that is, though?
Um, I think it's just preference. I just enjoy standing and trading, and most of the fights I've had have been against guys that want to take me down.
Right.
So it's me trying to avoid the takedowns and stay standing. Yeah, so maybe that.
Have you been in a UFC fight where you were worried maybe between rounds or worried in the middle of a fight?
Like
Something
worrying.
just worried about losing. Like, have you been in a situation where you're like, "Holy fuck, I bit off more than I could chew"? Like, or have you been pretty lucky that you've been able to handle your fights?
Yeah, so not that I've felt like a bit off more than I could chew. I've been there where I've just like, right, I need to turn it up. I lost the fight to a Russian fella, Musvar. It was a very controversial decision. A lot of people thought I won.
Mhm.
There was he's the number one contender right now.
Right.
Um, I felt like I won, so I remember getting hurt with a silly shot, and I remember being so confident that I had his number. I was too fast for him,
Right.
and then I walked into a silly shot, and I remember just getting rattled. My brain was boggled, and I was like actively having the thoughts in my head going, "Oh, you fucking idiot! Like, what are you doing?" And but then it's not long after I sat on the stool, and I was just thinking, just like when you just sit there like, oh, dickhead, like what
Yeah.
the hell? But no, I never felt like a bit off more than I could chew. I still felt the fight was winnable.
Yeah.
And I mean, I went out and won the next round good. And I felt like I did enough to win the fight.
Right.
It was quite frustrating because they changed the rules of MMA because of that fight.
Why
It
would they
was
change?
so there's I don't know if you're aware, but they have it's like a hand down thing. So if you've got a hand on the ground, you couldn't kick or knee a guy in the head.
Yeah. Okay.
So people would go front headlock, and then they would just touch touch their like pinky on the mat.
Right.
Couldn't kick him in the head. So in this fight, I caught him front headlock, and I lifted him up and kneed him in the head.
Right.
It was like a fight finishing sequence.
Sure.
I'd say it was 3-4 knees to the head. It was as good as about to be finished, and the ref stepped in and said the knees were illegal, and gave him time to compose and get back into the fight. And yeah, just
Were they illegal, or did you get his hand off the ground?
yeah. So I was actively lifting his head up and kneeing.
Right.
And he was trying to put his hand down to make it illegal.
Sure.
But because of the controversy of all these stupid rules, they completely changed the rule. You can no longer like hover your finger over the mat or something like this. You have to sit on your ass, both knees on the floor, to
Oh,
not get
okay.
kicked in the head.
So
Yeah,
now if just your hands down, it's free game.
yeah, yeah. So if you're sitting there with a
Oh,
hand down,
good.
you can get
Well,
yeah,
at least you got this rule change for yourself.
yeah. But it's so bad that I didn't get the finish that they had to change the whole rule set. So
Right.
yeah,
Right. Jesus. And that's the number one contender. What did
yeah,
it feel like to fight Max Holloway? Is that, Max Holloway's Max Holloway, like, holy
yeah,
shit. Like, as a fan that doesn't, I watches UFC as much as I do. Max Holloway is a huge figure in the sport.
yeah.
So as
He's
somebody coming up fighting, do you think that kind of thing when you're fighting him, or are you like, just another guy?
yeah, just another guy.
Okay.
Even it's quite funny because he came off a bad loss to Alex Volkanovski, the champ,
Right.
fight before that, and I was getting so many messages from people being like, "Oh, he's done. He's washed. You're gonna kill him." And all this. I remember just thinking like, that's Max Holloway. Like,
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
good. Like, he's
yeah,
fucking good. This guy is definitely not washed up or yeah.
yeah,
But no, I just think it brings a higher level out myself, like,
sure.
just in the training, you give a little bit more preparation, you give a little bit more, the diet, you're a little bit, you don't have that cheat that you usually would have, maybe those sort of things.
Yeah. You're from a small town, correct?
Yeah.
How does it feel going from a small town to fighting Max Holloway in like the biggest fight production in the world?
Yeah, I never really stopped to think about it, to be honest.
You should.
But it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Yeah.
Listen, as an older guy
Mm.
that's been in bodybuilding and, now retired,
Yeah.
my career went by like a blur, like a whizzed by.
Mm.
So I would take the time to go, man, I fucking, you've come a long way, right?
Yeah.
Like, you don't ever stop and wait and like just look at where you can pause and take a note of all the different phases you've been through?
Not really. I think there's more.
You're too far into it right now.
Yeah, I have the
Yeah.
mentality of like, if I don't achieve the goal, then the whole lot was for nothing. I know
I
that's
know.
not the case,
Yeah.
even, but that's my mindset right now.
I know the feeling.
Mm.
It's just on to the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, that's crazy. So, in your fight camp now, are you doing mental drills at all? Like, do you guys cover any mental? Because I know it's a big part of the sport. So, do you have a mental coach or no? Is that not something you do?
No, I do a lot of that. Like, I visualize a lot, like, meditate, all these things, but I don't work with anyone.
You don't work with it, you do it yourself.
Yeah, yeah. I've done it as long as I can remember. Yeah,
Really?
yeah, yeah.
How long like, I know it must be such an important part of fighting. How long do you spend doing just it seems like your whole day is spent preparing because you got you're fighting, practicing or whatever twice a day.
Yeah.
And then you got to worry about eating properly all day long. And then, so how long do you spend preparing mentally each day?
It's like you say, it's all day. If when I have a name and an opponent,
Yeah.
that's kind of almost all you think about. If
Okay.
I have sparring, say at 12 o'clock, I'm thinking of all the things I'm going to do to this guy and how I'm going to implement it in my training today. If he has a technique he's very good at, I'm going to be visualizing how I defend that and counter it. So it's nonstop. I find the battle is actually turning off. Trying to
Really?
find things to switch off.
Okay. So what is someone like, I know some guys in bodybuilding do like various things like, a friend of mine, Samson Dowder, like races. He's got a car he races one day
Okay.
a week on a track or stuff like that to get away from bodybuilding.
Yeah.
What's some of the stuff that you do to get away from fighting since it's an all day thing?
Yeah. I used to go do a lot of mountain biking.
Okay.
I used to jump mountain bikes, but now I try to stay on two wheels because it's a bit risky.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Mountain biking, off-roading, I do a bit of like 4x4ing.
Awesome.
Um, but yeah, I try to stay in the car because that's been I nearly rolled it off a cliff once before a fight. And
No way.
literally like the week before a fight, and I was just like, "Oh, maybe I should stop doing that."
Not a good idea. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's cool. So, who is in your life that's kind of pushing you along or is riding along with you this whole journey? Is it just you and your wife, or do you have a team that kind of is
Yeah,
with you all the time?
yeah, there's a big team, so it's my coach is obviously back in England, or my manager is one of my first coaches. My dad, my brother, my mum, like, they're all, big support. Then I have a huge team over here in Montreal as well, so it's just like an extended family. But,
Yeah.
yeah, I think my brother's probably the biggest. He's a crazy guy, but he's like the biggest sort of push for me.
Yeah.
He's always that guy that sort of blows smoke up my ass and gasses me up. But he's
Uh,
also the number one guy saying, "You need to talk more shit. You need to do more of this." And it's like, they should give you the opportunities. And I'm just like, "Yeah, he'll come, he'll come." But yeah,
so who's is it your dad or your brother who's more proud of you, you think?
I think my dad. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Let me ask you this. It's got to be tough. Like I had family used to come watch me bodybuild, but bodybuilding
yeah.
is not dangerous.
Hmm.
what does it feel like have you asked your wife or brother or dad what it feels like to sit in the audience when they have to go through watching you in a fight? Is it hard for them?
Yeah, we never actually really had the conversation, but my mum likes to be in the arena, and
Okay.
it's weird. She doesn't want to be in the arena, but she does.
Yeah.
And, so I stopped giving her a ticket for the nerves. I'm like, look, Mum, I'm not going to give you a ticket. Like, just stay home. Like, you don't have to watch. I'm fine.
Yeah.
She will always just appear in the arena, has a few drinks, and yeah, she wants to be there, but she doesn't. So
So
I
she wants
thought,
to be there, but she's not watching.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. So I was like,
Yeah.
I just don't come. Like, stay home, don't
Yeah.
watch. And
Yeah. Yeah.
but yeah, she can't not be there.
How's your wife feel about it? Is she the one nursing you back to health afterwards? Like, how's that go?
Yeah, she's pretty good with it. I think she's so since we got together, I've been all she's known is me to be in training camps and preparing for fights, and she's been to all the fights since we've been together.
Yeah.
And I think she just thinks I'm really good, so she's not too,
She's
you
not
know,
worried.
maybe because she sees like the hard work. She's like, all these guys suck. Like, you're the best. So, and I'm sitting there like, oh, this guy's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that's pretty cool that you have like your dad and your brother and your mom and everybody's there for you all the
yeah.
time. Do you guys plan on having kids at all?
Yeah, yeah, we do. Like, it's I don't know if you could you know about it, but like when you're in the career and you're chasing the goal, it's hard to because we have talked about it. I'm always just like, oh, maybe if I get these couple of fights, and then we'll, it's always
Uh,
like that. Yeah,
it's really hard, dude. Like we we t- tried like just naturally,
right.
and it just didn't happen by accident. So then we're like, okay, let's see about doing it around like 30. I'm like maybe around 35. I'm like
Yeah,
these couple shows have gone by. Now's a good time. And then it was like, well, let's wait till after these shows because they're going to come and go. And then I don't know. Next thing you know, you're 40 years old,
yeah,
and we're
yeah,
like, oh, maybe it's. Then you're kind of like set in your routine. Like, you're my wife. This is what we do. We hang out.
yeah,
We do whatever we want. We have a couple dogs, and that just became life.
yeah.
So I don't know.
You just lock into the goal, right? That is what it is.
That's why when you said to me earlier, I don't know. I can't see like how far I've come. It's because you're so in the fight that it's
Yeah,
like you're not where I am. I'm way past it.
yeah,
Right?
right.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
that's
understand.
crazy. But same thing with the wife. Like it's as far as like kids and stuff like that, you're like, well, I got to do this and this and this, and then maybe, and the next thing you know, it's like 10 years later.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
exactly that. It's in you down the line, like, maybe now.
so I noticed that you have a podcast that you do with another guy. Is that just a friend of yours?
Yeah, it's my best friend, Max. Yeah.
So you guys started a podcast. How many episodes in are you?
I think we've done 20, but see, that was a problem there. I came back to Montreal and he's back in England. It just haven't worked out yet.
Why not? You can just do it remote.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense.
That's what I do. I mean, my podcast has been running for 6 years. I've never done an in-person podcast.
That's true. Yeah.
They're all
Well,
just
man.
remote. You got something to do you got a call? You busy?
No, no, it just it glitched for a second.
Oh, are you there?
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, I would just do a remote. How do you like doing the podcast? Is that something you enjoy?
Yeah, it's fun because you know what? We don't talk fighting. We don't talk sports. He's
Right.
my best friend, but he's not really interested in MMA.
Right.
He likes his favorite fighter is me, so he doesn't watch anyone else. Yeah, so it's good. He doesn't ask me any fight questions. We don't talk fight stuff. It's
I noticed you're talking some really stupid shit like we talk about on my podcast. Like
yeah,
we have a podcast called Bro Chat and
okay,
we just talk like bros. We're just like
yeah, man.
we just talk the dumbest shit that you
Just
could
talk
think of.
shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
that's what you guys are doing.
literally, yeah. Just the boys, yeah, just
Do
chatting shit.
people in the bodybuilding world enjoy what I do because it's kind of like people get to hear their favorite fighters talking just like normal people.
Yeah, that's cool.
Are people watching your podcast enjoying it the same way?
Yeah, I think so, and I think you know what, it's been a good like I say, I'm not one of those guys that talk a lot of crap, and
Right.
people end up assuming, "Oh, this guy's boring. He doesn't have a character," and then they
Right.
just watch you talking shit, and they're like, "Oh, actually, he's just like us. He's funny. This guy, a normal guy."
What's
Yeah,
your podcast called?
it's the milkman.
The Milkman.
Yeah, yeah.
Why?
Um, well, we live a little bit in the countryside. We used to go chasing cows and shit, and yeah, that's the one. And his I just remember when we were younger, his granddad was from up north. They're all farms, and he took us to see some cows get milked, and it was just the weirdest thing when we were kids. And I was just like, "This is fucking weird. Why are we watching these cows get milked?" So I was just like, "Fuck it, call it the milkman."
So that's it. It's from
Yeah,
your childhood.
yeah, man.
That's pretty cool. So what okay, I'm gonna ask you this. What's the dumbest thing you talk about?
Um, you know what we talk about a lot is, so you know, like the Facebook community groups, and it'll be like local pages. We just
Okay.
go through them and like get the local updates and just the
Really?
funniest things. It's always
Really?
something crazy. Yeah.
I don't think
Always.
I've done that yet. I don't think I've done that yet with my
So good.
really.
Yeah. So good.
Do you guys do like audience questions?
Yeah. Yeah. People call, and this, I don't know if they're my fans or what, but like these people ask fucking weird questions. Yeah.
I get those too.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. What okay, so one of the questions on my podcast is how many times do you use a towel after you
Okay.
shower? Like how many times did you use a towel to dry yourself off
Yeah.
before you
Yeah.
put it in the laundry?
For me, it would be like three.
3.
Three.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty average because it went from like I have one friend who does it like every time he showers.
No, that's crazy.
Right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
and then I have other friends who are like 1 week. So I'm
1
like,
week.
okay. I'm like, that's either one is fine. Like 1 week is fine for me. 3 days, 3 times is okay.
Yeah.
You're like
Yeah.
right in the middle there.
So I have a rule. If it ends up on the floor at the gym, it goes in the wash. So
Yeah, that's a good rule. That's a good
yeah,
rule.
so when we're in there, everyone throws their training kit on the floor, everyone's showering. If it
Yeah,
ends up on the floor with the other shit, I'm like, "Oh, that's gotta go in the wash." But yeah,
yeah, for
3
sure.
to 4 is the average.
3 to 4 is that. I give you that. Okay.
Yeah.
So another question is favorite fast food? Burgers only.
Burgers only?
Burgers only. Favorite fast food.
Ooh, I like, I don't know if you have A&W there, but I like they have a
Really?
do you have A&W? Yeah.
Yeah, we have A&W. That's the first
Yeah.
time I've ever had somebody ask use A&W as an answer.
Yeah, I like A&W, like a double mozzarella cheeseburger.
Really?
Yeah,
Arnold
yeah.
Arnold Allen, like, so A&W burger,
Yeah, I
that's good.
do.
One for the record books, we'll put that in there.
Oh, yeah.
Not what about Five Guys, In-N-Out, like, have you had any of those?
I like Five Guys. I love Five Guys, but I think I've had it too much.
Oh, okay, so you're A&W over Five Guys just
Yeah.
because of okay. Okay, I'll give you that. What, Nick, what's some other bro chat questions? I don't wanna ask him the grossest one. Should I ask you the grossest one?
I'm open to it.
Okay. So, when the first one started, the very first gross question we had that nobody like, that we all answered was, "Do you wipe your ass sitting or standing up?"
Sitting, for sure.
Ah, see?
Yeah,
Arnold Arnold Allen's a sitter.
yeah.
Anyway, that's like some of the stuff that we every week, man, we get questions from our audience members and stuff that wanna ask us that kinda shit. So,
Yeah, man.
is that is your podcast going that way, like that kinda thing?
Yeah, yeah, people call in with some dumb shit, and, so, yeah, I sometimes I'm just looking, I'm like, "I don't even wanna answer this question."
I know.
Yeah, I'm just like,
I
"Alright, I'm gonna
know.
leave this one."
But do you think it's like, do you think it's one of the kind of thing where you're start to have other fighters on?
Yeah, we thought about guests for a while, um, but yeah, just I think I'm pretty awkward. I wouldn't ever ask people, um, but yeah, I think we would eventually.
I think it'd be kinda weird to have other fighters on, especially if you're gonna have from your own class, because you're gonna that's actually an interesting question I wanna ask you, is are you guys when you're fighting somebody, are you ever friends with them?
Um, I see. I don't really have. I have a lot of friends, obviously, I train with, but not really any in my division that are in the UFC. Um,
Right.
but we bumped into each other at events, and you chat, say hi.
Yeah.
But yeah, not
What do
friends. I wouldn't say. You know?
Well, not friends, but even like, like you said, you bump into people, you say hi, it's like a nice person.
Yeah,
You don't have a dislike for that person.
yeah.
How do you punch them in the face?
I guess it's just sport, right? It's just treating it as sport. Like I
I
always
mean, you're getting paid to punch them in the face, so I guess that's
yeah,
why.
there's that, there's
But
that.
but
I
like,
think it's just like, you look at it like football, you know, like I land 2 good jabs, it's like a couple of good passes and getting closer to the goal, you know?
that's not really the same.
Yeah,
You're punching another guy in the face. You guys
that's true.
you know what I mean? So I just like I've always wondered that. I was because like I know anger is not part of fighting. Like if you're a
Yeah,
good fighter, then you're probably not angry, correct?
yeah,
So I know it's like if you're angry, you're probably in a wrong place anyways. But I also think like I mean I'm not a fighter and that's probably why, but like I feel like it'd be weird to punch somebody in the face as hard as I could if I didn't have some type of problem with them.
yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what I'm saying?
Uh, yeah, yeah, I do it is a weird thing to think, isn't it? Yeah.
Because like you're gonna hurt them. Like you're gonna punch them in the face, it's gonna hurt. You're gonna, leg kick them and they're, like
Yeah.
you're obviously gonna inflict pain on this person.
Yeah, I think more than the actual physical pain is like, I'm taking money off this guy's table, you know, I'm taking
That's true too.
you know, most people want a half and half paycheck. You get the extra 50% if you win the fight. So,
Right.
you know, if you're taking food from his family, that's
Yeah,
a
but that one, I feel like that one I could get over a little bit more easily only because I'm like, it's either gonna be his table or my table,
yep, yeah,
right? So I'm like, I'd rather it be my table.
true.
But the inflicting pain on the person, I'm like, fuck, I don't know if I could do that. But I guess you guys are different that way.
Mm.
Do you think fighters are like a different breed in that sense? Like guys who love to fight?
Yeah, but even then, there's some fighters that are like maybe not that. You know, some guys fight and you know they're very good, they're very skilled, but they haven't got that in them. You know.
I know what you're saying, and I've thought that before. I've always said to myself, amongst UFC fighters, from the way I see it, which is very like I said, I'm not a hardcore fan or anything, but like the way I see it is like just from growing up and knowing people who fight, there are guys that fight that just like to fight.
Yeah.
They just like the whole the whole thing, the pain, all of it.
Yeah.
And then there are guys who fight who are just very, very skilled and very good at it, but don't necessarily like want to get punched in the face. You know what I mean? They just, you know what I mean? Do you understand what
Yeah,
I'm
I
trying?
do. Yeah.
Do you? Is that what you're kind of talking about?
Yeah, yeah, but just even a more, I've seen guys that have competed that are like, even on the other end of it, not that they don't want to hurt anyone, they're so scared of getting hurt. Like you know,
Wow.
you throw a shot at them, they're so timid, and you know, obviously, the one of the things is to be cool and calm under fire. You know, guys throwing a shot, you can't like just shut up and look away.
Hmm.
You know, like
Yeah.
they don't get hit well. They're not got that sort of. It sounds
Grit.
cliche, but they haven't got that dog in them. You know.
Right. Right. Have you fought both kinds of fighters?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I remember I fought a guy before the UFC, and I remember just he was asking to fight me, and I remember faking a shot at him, and his reaction, I was like, "All right, it's one of those." It's like one of those guys. Yeah,
You knew right away you didn't want to fight.
yeah, just like a little shoulder pump, and he's got like that, and I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
"All right, got you."
Do you think? Do you think you can get to the top of the UFC, like the top five, if you don't have a dog in you? Because I think like some people would, and I hope to God I don't get roasted for this, but some people would say like George St. Pierre didn't like to get hit.
Yeah,
Even though he's been in fights where he's been like hit a lot,
yeah,
but like if you compared like Nick Diaz to George St. Pierre, some people would say Nick Diaz is a dog and George St. Pierre is not.
yeah. I see that.
Is that do you feel like that's accurate?
Um, I feel like so I've spoke to George kind of about this, and he's very interesting. It really confuses me because he told me like he hated fighting. He said he
Yeah.
absolutely like backstage when you're in the warm up area. He told me he'd be in the mirror like you know geeing himself up, and he'd have to convince himself like you know I'm the man, I'm good, I am good.
Right.
And he said he hated it, absolutely hated it.
Yeah.
I was just like, if you hated it so much, like why would you do it? But
Because he's good at it.
he's good at it. But yeah, I think in some way, the fact that he can overcome that feeling of not wanting to fight and being so afraid and actually just going for it. Like when
Right.
you see him walk out, like he's stone cold. He's confident as he's overcame so much already to make the walk.
Right.
In some ways, he's got more of a dog than anyone.
Right.
And like Nick Diaz, all respect to Nick Diaz, but like I don't think he thinks twice about it. He walks in, and, no care in the world. He's gonna have a fight. So
Right.
he didn't have to overcome anything in that sense to
I
make
see
it.
what you're saying. So the guy that doesn't want to fight is more of a fighter because he's got to convince himself to get in there.
Yeah, like and it would confuse me when George told me because I was like, "You're the best ever. Like,
Right.
what could you be scared of fighting?"
Right.
Yeah,
But that's how I always looked at George, is like, even though he's the best ever, or one of the best ever,
yeah,
I always looked at him as more of an athlete than a fighter.
yeah.
You think that's accurate?
Um, yeah, in some ways. But the thing is, he when he got dropped by Carlos Condit and he got knocked down. I think a lot of people wouldn't have came back the way he did.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even he got knocked out by Matt Serra. He came back and got the finish on him. Matt Hughes, it would have been very easy to all of his losses he avenged. So
Right. Right.
I think that is a true testament of a fighter. He came back, fixed it in the gym, and came back and got the win. Feel like
Right.
his career could have still been great without fighting those guys again.
Yeah. Yeah. Who do you think is the greatest fighter of all time? Is it John Jones? Is it George St. Pierre? Who's your pick?
For me, George, just George. Yeah,
Pick George.
just maybe I'm biased. I've spent
Is you're a
time with him.
TriStar?
Yeah, I've spent time with him. I've seen him in the gym, but like, one of the reason I came to TriStar was George. Like, as
Okay.
a kid, I was watching his countdowns. He was the guy everyone wanted to be like. He's a better guy in person than you see on TV. And they say don't meet your heroes, and
Yeah.
he's one of those people that exceeds that. Like, I see him in the gym sometimes, and there'll be a guy over there. He's like a beginner, and George will come in and ask the guy, "Oh, let's wrestle together. Let's drill."
Oh, that's cool.
Like he doesn't just cut himself off. He'll work with whoever,
Right.
and little things like this. It kind of maybe the same we talked about the black belt. George is still in the gym now as a martial artist, long retired, trying to get better. He's still
Right.
learning new techniques and still helping people out.
Yeah.
I think a lot of other guys have, you know, long retired. They ain't helping people. They're doing their own thing. Yeah. So
Maybe
there's,
the guy, maybe like you said, he didn't love fighting, but he loves the sport.
yeah, exactly. He's a true martial artist. Yeah.
Yeah. There's bodybuilders like that I can think of. I mean, I was kind of like that myself. Like, there's a lot of bodybuilders who you would think this is a really strange thing to say, but and this is not nearly the same because going out to fight is like a different
It's
thing.
the
Like,
same competition, though.
it's competition, yes, but there's no danger in bodybuilding, but
Right.
it is competition. And I can think of many bodybuilders I've talked to, including myself at times, where I hated the stage.
Really.
Like, I didn't want to compete. I love bodybuilding.
Yeah.
I wanted to train. I wanted to diet. I wanted to like progress. I wanted to see how far like I could make my physique change, but like to actually get on stage and like compete,
Yeah.
I just didn't give a fuck. I was like, I don't want to do that.
Really.
But I don't know, you kind of have to at the same time, like to if you're a bodybuilder, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm assuming that's kind of what George is talking about, obviously to an amplified level because like I said, it's fighting. But I do kind of understand the sentiment of what he was saying.
Hmm.
What do you consider yourself? Do you consider yourself more like George or more like Nick?
I think I'm closer towards Nick's way of
You just
thinking.
don't give a fuck. You're just gonna walk in,
Uh,
walk in, walk in.
yeah, like not that I don't give a fuck, but just like I wouldn't say scared is the way I'd feel. I do hype myself up, but like as long as I've trained and I've prepared and
Yeah.
then I'm confident. I've done everything in my power I can. Then I'm like the outcome's almost out of my hands in a way.
Do you think the more you fight, the obviously the less like the first time you fought, or first few times you fought, or first few years you fought, was there a level of fear at all? Or did you always have this like, I'm prepared, I'm going in to fight?
Yeah, I think the first few, just the unknown.
Right.
Obviously, I had loads of sparring sessions and whatnot, but never been like in front of people and another guy that I don't know across the ring from a gym I don't know trying to kill me.
Right.
Yeah.
How does that feel when a guy walks in that have you ever been in a situation like Max Holloway, for example, or even earlier in your career where you walked in and this guy had like a big name or a lot of accolades and you were kind of worried? Did it ever happen?
Um, Not worried. I guess I won't say worried. I mean, I thought Dan Hooker. He had a big highlight reel.
Mhm.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
He's like 6'2", 6'3",
Yeah.
really rangy, dangerous guy. Um, yeah, he presents a lot of problems, and I obviously watched his highlight reel, and I'm like, don't want to be one of those guys. But yeah, yeah, I wouldn't. But then with the drilling, the training, the preparation, I'm like,
Right.
that knee isn't so scary now. That
Okay.
right hand he's knocked this guy out with ain't so scary now because I'm prepared for it.
You beat Dan Hooker.
Yeah,
How did that feel to beat like, a pretty well-known name in the
yeah,
UFC?
it was good. It was, it was really special actually because my my Muay Thai coach at the time, he passed now. He was an older guy. He was about 60 something, Thai guy,
Yeah.
and he had a a cancer,
Okay.
and but he had this killer mindset. Like,
Yeah.
if you train with him, he would just everything was kill, kill, kill.
Right.
And in sparring, sometimes accidents happen.
Sure.
You drop your partner, knock someone out. We don't try, but
Yeah.
accidents happen.
Yeah.
And I'd always feel bad. I'd help the guy out. Like it'd be like, I'm so sorry. He would rip on the guy. He would go and like, my fucking student kill you. My guy knocked you out. I'm like, just like, man, like, don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so before the fight, I didn't get to train with him. I was back in England, and he was in hospital here in Canada,
Yeah.
and he was on his, he was in the hospital,
Mm.
and I called him before we spoke on FaceTime, and I didn't really recognize him. He'd lost so much weight and just doesn't look
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
And I asked him for advice. I said, "Oh, the guy's tall, rangy, throws long knees, big kicks." I said, "So what do I do?" He said, "Fucking kill him." And I was just like, anything technical? When he's
Yeah.
just like,
No.
fuck him, fuck him. I was like, okay, coach, got ya.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I remember just moving, and I got a punch, like a knuckle in my eye. And I
Right.
remember just seeing like two or three of him. I was
Yeah.
thinking, you know what? I cannot afford to like run away from this guy with my eye hurt. The ref hasn't seen it.
Right.
I'm just gonna go forward and throw punches. Fucking kill him. Let's go.
Holy shit.
And yeah, managed to get the finish. And me and Fraz spoke to him after the fight in the hospital. He was crying. Yeah, it was a bit of a brawl, and
God
yeah,
damn.
but that fight was for him.
That's crazy. Look at this
Yeah,
shit.
he just said, "Just fucking go." I was like, "Okay, I got you."
So is this the finish?
It comes up after this bit. There's like a little break. Yeah,
But don't fast.
no,
That's so crazy, man. I think I think what you do is absolutely insane. Like, I don't know, I know when you're in the bubble, like it's funny with bodybuilding, like when you do it for long enough, you think everybody just understands food and training and all that. You forget
yeah,
that like 95% of the world has no idea how to eat and train and all that shit. I'm sure you're the same. I'm sure like as a
yeah.
fighter, you probably think everybody kind of gets it. I don't think anybody gets it. Like what you do is fucking wild, man. It's like it's just it's so crazy. It's like I think what you guys do and how you guys like prepare and how you're so calm and collected. I remember when I went to the jujitsu camp, I was like, look, I don't know anything. I know I'm big. I know you guys are gonna kick my ass. I don't
Yeah,
care. Just teach me whatever you can teach me. And I have so much respect for like fighters and people that take the time and years and to become black belts or even if they're not black belts, just the guys who get in there week after week. I have a
yeah.
lot of friends who are like, um, what's the belt after white? Is it yellow and then blue?
Oh, white, blue, purple, brown.
White, blue, purple. That's it.
Yeah,
So I have a couple friends who are blue belts, a couple friends who are purple, and it's the same thing. I still have the same amount of respect for them because they're in there every
yeah.
week, just slugging it out, right?
Yeah, I know so many guys out there.
It's I don't know, man. I think what you do is awesome, and I'm really happy that you came on the podcast and give me a chance to like ask you a few questions, man. I
Of course,
appreciate it.
man. Thanks for having me on. It's been great.
Hopefully, when you're champ, you won't forget me. You'll come back on.
That sounds good. Yeah, that sounds good. Do another one.
I appreciate you taking the time, Arnold. Is there anybody or anything you want to thank? Anybody you want to thank, or anything you want to say before we go?
No, nothing in particular. Just shout out
No.
Ben for linking us up.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Thank you, Ben,
Yeah,
for hooking it up. And Arnold, I hope we get a chance to talk again soon.
yeah, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, brother. All right, man.